Hi, I'm Arden Clise with Clise Etiquette, and today we're talking about conversation, something that many people struggle with and often ask me for advice about. Well, I'm excited to introduce my friend Bob Taylor, who I think is really a great conversationalist. Bob, I'm happy to have you here. So tell us, what do you think really makes you good at conversation?
Well, Arden, the thing that really has always worked for me, worked all my life, is the fact that I'm extremely curious. I've always asked lots of questions, and I think as a very young person I started out with lots of brash questions and lots of questions about how things worked and why things were the way they were. And of course I don't ask those brash or innocent questions anymore, but I do have a certain interest in people, where they're from. I have an interest in sort of the microenvironment, what are the colors in a space, and I might ask a person what they're wearing or something of that kind.
So starting with the things that you notice about someone and then taking that to the next level. So give me an example.
Well, I could start with perhaps the color of someone's coat, or the color of the room, or I could talk about their last name if they're wearing a name tag. I might talk about their accent. I might notice that they have a regional American accent and I might want to know and be really fascinated and really excited if they're from some place that I haven't been to. So I'd be listening for a city accent. I might be listening for a Midwest accent, a Southern accent.
So you're really showing an interest in someone. You're really looking at someone and you're not just sort of, talking about the weather. You're really looking at things that might be of interest to you.
Yeah, and I think they appreciate that. I think they notice when I see something about them that perhaps hasn't been noticed for a while.
So Bob, do you think that you need to be an extrovert to be a good conversationalist?
No, in fact I'm an introvert, and I almost think that I use conversation as a way to get past my own self-consciousness or insecurity. If we're in the mental space or the conversation space and we're talking about, your last name, Clise for example, and I find out it's a German name, and I find out that your people came across the United States in a covered wagon and ate buffalo, I'd be a lot better off than just looking at you thinking about how we might talk about our next business lunch or something of that kind.
Good. So what I'm hearing is sincerity, knowing the kinds of questions, looking for the opportunities to ask those questions.
And also knowing how far to go and how to tread. In other words, to gradually get into the conversation. Don't choose something that is too difficult or too challenging for the person.
Got it. So you're sort of feeling out what makes sense for that person and then eventually going deeper. Good. Great tips. I hope that's helpful to everyone, and I wish you much success with your conversation skills. I'm Arden Clise with Clise Etiquette.